Hey YouTubers. Alright, some people are asking me to make a video on the Pan, how to get the power switch, more detail on how to fix that. So that's what I'm doing. I am shooting with my mom's new iPhone 5S, so you can let me know how it is. This is the back. It actually, my mistake, goes on here like this. You guys can check out my other video on how to get this off. It's very simple. I mean, it's just two halves. Okay, and then you'll be coming to this. So hopefully you know where your switch is, or maybe you can hear it rattling before you even take anything apart. But basically what you're going to have to do is you got to take this main board basically out. So, I mean, things to keep in mind is that, like, here are your two speakers, and you can see the speaker wires run down and solder on there and there onto the board. These speakers do come out easily, just a couple screws, one there, and the same on this one. So you just want to take these off and then just leave them connected right here. Another thing to note is that this long black cable here, you're probably going to want to disconnect this. Probably going to obviously want to disconnect the battery connector right here. Just pull that out. Looks like the same with this is, just pull straight out. This is the Vibrate motor right here. Of course, that is again hard soldered, so just gently lift that up out of its cradle. This here, if you left your SD card in it, I don't know if I necessarily recommend doing that, but that's just how I took mine apart right now. This cable here, looks like you probably have to just flip the brown connector up probably and then pull it out, or just pull it straight out. Actually, you know what, guys, let me just take a look at it here and see what type it is. Yeah, okay, so it is the flip up kind. You see this black tab here is up, and then it locks down to the lock position. So just take a screwdriver or even a utility knife, get underneath there, just flip it up, and then just pull this right out, like so. Okay, and that'll be basically just how to get this main board out of here. Alright, so I'm going to see here. Yeah, okay, I'm going to have to actually take everything loose. So we'll come right over here to the battery connector, and we'll just slide this right out. This will be easier for you guys using two hands instead of trying to hold the iPhone and do this at the same time. But here you go. Okay, so then here's the battery. This is probably going to be like, looks like using just double-sided tape from the factory, but mine, I've pulled this up before, so I'll just take that out now for the sake of conveniency. Looks like there's another ribbon cable right here that I forgot to mention, so we'll just see here. This one looks like it just pulls straight back, or does it flip? No, okay, this is another flip up. Right, and this actually just sprang itself loose. And then I'm quite certain that this one is just going to pull straight back. Give or take, maybe. You just guys want to just go slow, be careful and gentle with all this stuff. This one just pulls right out. You can probably just grab this black outer sheathing and carefully pull it back. This here, like the Vibrate motor, like I said, just get underneath it and then just gently lift up and it'll come right out. And then this, just for sake of noting, is the headphone jack. And then this cable here. Alright, so we should be good as far as that goes. And now, thing to note on the board is that there are 6 screws you have to remove. They're here, 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 and then lastly here and here. So you do have to take all 6 of those out. There are very small Phillips, as you guys can see here. Very, very small. Everything on this is very, very small. And let's see, I'm going to have to take my speakers loose here. And of course these are just a couple more Phillips screws, very, very small. That doesn't want to lift out of there with the magnetic screwdriver, so I'll just leave it be for now. Take this other side loose, and just very gently lift that up out of place. Be careful not to lose any of your screws. You may want to take and get them out of there. See, that one came off on the screwdriver, so I'm just going to set it on my workbench right there very carefully, and we'll come back and get this last one here. That one lifted right out as well, so we'll just put those there, and I'll see if I can fish these other two out. There we go. I'll just set these two aside over here. It's always a good idea, guys, if you have maybe a old towel or washcloth or something like this, or even I probably wouldn't recommend paper towel, but just to set your little screws on so that they don't roll away and such. Okay, once you guys have completed that, remember to lift this out of here like I almost didn't do. Thing to note when you're putting it together and taking it apart is that these wires here, they do loop through that little channel. So just be mindful of that. And then this main board just takes and pretty much lifts out of here. It looks like I forgot this ribbon cable right here myself. This just is a flip up. And then just very carefully take that out. There we are. So then you can take the main board right out of here, and you can see speakers are coming with me. So now if you flip it over, okay, you'll see there's not much here. Let's just take and we'll set that there like that, and then we'll just take this and set it aside because we won't be needing it. Now, probably something I should note at the very beginning of this video is you are going to need a soldering iron, and you're going to need a precision one, such as something like this I got from Radio Shack. As you can see, it has a very fine point tip to it. Obviously I have some solder on there now, but it has a very fine tip. Let's see here if I can find an example of another kind. Here we go. This is the replacement tip for larger, more of a pistol grip style gun. This will, I don't believe, will work. This is just too big to do the small, delicate work. Okay, and pretty much here, so you're back to your main board. And the switch that we are dealing with, okay, is this very small switch right here. Okay, as you can see, it just presses, you know, up and down that little black piece. Or no, yeah, I'm sorry, the black piece right there that goes in and out. Basically, all this is held on with is just by the two solder connections here and then the one on this side. And so what I did, instead of trying to hold this with my fingers and having the hot iron there, is I have some smaller alligator clips than these, but a smaller set. So I just took and just clipped it right on there. Actually, let me just grab one here out of the magical chest of wonders. So what I did, I just took and positioned everything as I needed it. I actually set the board in my vise very gently, as these boards are very, very fragile. But I just took and clipped the switch on there like that, because then that still allowed me to get to both my solder connections, and the switch was held in place so I could do my work. I suppose if you were perhaps a bit more heavily into electronics and soldering, you could have a pair of helping hands, they call them, and it has like a couple of different clips and magnifying glass. You guys can look it up on like a Radio Shack's website or something like that. That's really all you need. If you cannot find the switch, I'm not real sure if you could find another one somewhere or not. Good luck. Mine was still in the unit, and from what I've heard in the comments, a lot of people are able to find theirs inside. So now we'll just go ahead then, since mine is still working good, and we will run through the reinstall. So you're just going to want to take your the main section of it here. This has the glass, which mine is broken, but oh well, I still use it. Okay, and then the board is going to set down in here about like this. And as you can see, those speakers are very annoying. I see here I marked mine L for left apparently, and then must be R for right or something. Apparently when I first took this apart. So let's see here. Now this is going to lay right in here like this. You'll be able to find the screw holes and get them lined up. Obviously you need to keep note of this ribbon cable, this ribbon cable, this cable. Make sure your Vibrate motor is in place before you get it all put back together. Got your battery connector. A ribbon cable that's supposed to go here that apparently is tucked underneath the board. So let's see if we can find that. There it is, hiding on me. Okay. So this is actually not a ribbon cable. Well, it is, but it actually is the camera, as I just figured out, because it just lifts out of there. So, see here if I can just set that right back in there. Hopefully, maybe. Work with me here, Lapon. And see if I can't just bring the board in underneath it. Here we are. Okay, so basically all you're going to have to do is just take the little round tab, make sure it's in the up position, and then just get that ribbon cable pushed in there. It might take you a couple tries. Of course, it'll be a little easier for you guys using two hands, and I feel like that's in there. So then the brown tab just flips down, and then it's locked in position. So, get that out of the way, get this ribbon cable up on top, and I think this goes underneath there like that. Again, you just push the ribbon cable in all the way, and then just take and seat the little rubber tab, flip it down, and then everything should be locked. Sorry guys, that wasn't the most skillful camera work. Alright, and then this one you just have to do the same. You just take and get it pushed into the little slot. That I'm having difficulty doing. So there we go. Alright, and then we flip the little black tab down. Now that's in there. Now this one over here should be significantly easier since it's a little bit beefier and just pushes in. So I'll just take and get that pushed in there and seated properly. See, you can't see any of the gold in between the connector there, so it's in all the way. It's very important to keep in mind. Okay. So now at this point I'm going to get my speakers orientated and installed here correctly. One thing to know is I would probably want to be cautious not to push down on the speaker cone here too much. because that could potentially ruin it. Make sure the wire runs through there like that. And then just take the 2 screws, and you're going to want to reinstall them. And this one here, as you can see, the wires kind of bunch up a little bit there. So that's just going to lay down right there and screw in. Okay, and then we're going to take the battery. I never did anything with the replacement tape or anything like that. I just lay it right down in this little track that it's mounted out for. And then you just want to push that connector right in. All the same as the other ones. And this, due to having so many wires, is rather stiff wiring. So there we go, and then just push that in all the way. Just like this. You can't see any gold in between the connectors there. So you're good to go. Thing to keep in mind and to watch for also on this board is here's your volume rocker, so make sure that's in there properly. The hold switch, which mine seemed to have walked off somewhere, that's fantastic. So I will have to find that. Great. Okay, guys, well, here it is. Alright, so if you take a look at the hold switch here, you can see one side has a little notch, and one side doesn't. So I know that this only goes in here all but the one way, and I can never keep it straight. The other 2 or 3 times I've had this tablet apart, I think it goes in there maybe like that or the other way. Please do not quote me. Yeah, I'm thinking I'd have to face up like that so that the tab would lock in there. Yeah, okay guys, it does go in there just like that. With the tab, or the whole notch, whatever, facing upward. Probably going to want to put a couple screws into this main board before you try doing that. And your back plate here just snaps right on in, so the reinstall on everything it's pretty easy, guys. I mean, if you can get it apart, you know, you can probably get it back together again. So hopefully this helps, and good luck, guys. Thanks for watching. Hitting that like button really helps me out.